Hey students, so it's another week. Hopefully you kept your literature pages and you did not bring them back to school like you're supposed to, because you're going to need that page in order to do your paragraph. So what I want you to do is I want you to get out your research page. Now, of course, yours is going to have words all in it. So you're going to have your quote here, you should have your quote here, and you should have a quote here, and you should have a quote here. You should have 4 quotes. Now, let's turn your paper to this side. Okay, now make sure on your quotes, make sure that you put your quotation marks, make sure that you put periods, all right, capital letters at the beginning of a sentence, all those important things. Now turn your page over and let's read the instructions for your paragraph. Pick your favorite quote from the front page. So you're going to look on what quote you chose for 14, what quote you chose for 22, 23, and 40, and you're going to pick your favorite one out of those 4. You don't have to write about all 4 of them. You just have to pick one quote that's your favorite. Okay, just one. Pick your favorite quote from the front page. Write a paragraph with 3 to 5 sentences about how the quote shows Mary's love for her family. Okay? Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me, boys and girls. So you're going to do a paragraph of 3 to 5 sentences. How does that quote show that Mary had love for her family? Okay? So I want you to write about that. Now, I gave you room to write it. And I gave you a place, and lastly it says, give your paragraph an appropriate title. So you're going to put your title right here, okay? And if it's longer than that, you can make the line bigger. And down here, you're going to write your 3 to 5 sentences on how that quote shows that Mary had love for her family, okay? It should be pretty easy. Now, don't forget, capital letters, periods or question marks or exclamation points, but make sure that you don't just have one big old sentence the whole time. A sentence starts with a capital letter and it ends with a period or a question mark or an exclamation point. Okay, so you can use your quote inside your paragraph if you want to. You can start off your paragraph that says, Mary, and then have the quote, blah, blah, blah. This shows how Mary loved her family because blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it's a very easy assignment. You should do well on it. This is all you have to do this week. Next week, we'll get into reading a little bit more in our book. Okay, but we want to start writing and delving into some of these ideas, because once we study how Mary showed love for her family, guess what we're going to be able to do? We're going to be able to do that same type of thing. Maybe not working with chickens or making our own clothes or stuff like that, but you know what? You can sweep the floor, you can help with the dishes, you can make sure your room stays clean, you can set the table for dinner for your mom, you can clean up the living room without her having to say anything, right? You can go and clean the bathroom. You can clean the yard, right? When your mom's cooking supper, boys and girls, Miss Sarah has William and Jude and even Josh come in and help cook supper. Boys and girls, you can go in and say, hey, Mom, do you need help with supper? Can I help you do anything? And I'm sure your mom would appreciate that. So we're learning how Mary showed love to her family. And you know what that's going to do? That's going to help us to show love to our family, because our family is something that belongs to us. God has given to us. And how are we to treat things that God has given us? We are to treat them well. So hopefully you're showing love to your family in many more ways than just eating your mom's delicious cooking, right? So work on this paragraph, and I'm sure you're going to do wonderfully well. All right, boys and girls, be blessed. Bye-bye.